Imagine for a second that you're a painter. You paint birds because you love birds, and you start to share your work on social media. The growth in your social media account is slow but steady. One day you decide to step out of your comfort zone and paint a dog for a change. You post it online, and to your surprise, it goes viral. After all, dogs are more popular than birds. The likes and shares pour in. However, as you return to your beloved birds, you notice something disheartening. Nothing gets as much attention as your dog painting. You even lose a few followers every time you post a bird painting. One day, someone asks if you can draw a portrait of their dog for a small fee. You accept, get paid, and share your work online. And it goes viral again. It seems like you've cracked the code. If you paint dogs, you get praise and money. If you paint birds, well, nobody really cares. So you continue to paint dogs, attracting fans, sponsors, and financial success. You even quit your day job to pursue your newfound fame. At first, everything seems perfect. But as the years go by, a sense of emptiness creeps in. Your art no longer satisfies your creative soul. You fondly reminisce about the days when you painted what you loved, not what you thought would do well online. Yet, those memories are hazy. Did you really paint birds back then? You confirm by revisiting your early work. It was birds, but then you remember that hardly anyone appreciated it. So you resign yourself to painting more dogs, rationalizing that it's not that bad after all. Now, this imaginary scenario is real for many creatives, and most don't even realize it. This has been a risk for creatives since the Middle Ages, but it's so much more relevant today because of all the data and analytics we have. You share a video online, and after a few days you basically get a grade by the algorithm. You can see exactly how good your thumbnail was, how entertained people were, what parts they liked and what parts they didn't like. Many creators see this as extremely valuable, and maybe it is, but is it really creative to follow these numbers? Take creative decisions because of them. If you pursue down this path of catering to the numbers, eventually your work becomes a consequence of your audience. A perfect example of this is when Mr. Beast realized that putting faces in thumbnails increases the click-through rate. If you go back and look at his old videos, it's kind of funny how you see him experimenting with different thumbnails and then slowly but surely coming up with this cookie-cutter formula. And he has millions of data points that is basically guiding his decisions. Now, I'm not trying to hate on Mr. Beast, I'm just stating that he's removed all the creative aspects and now his work is solely a product of his audience. Because you can't argue that this is creative. Mr. Beast has produced a well-oiled content machine where creativity and risk has no place. This doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It's obviously a good way to grow and run a successful media business. But if you're creative like me and make things because you have the need to express yourself, it's good to be aware of how social media attention will mold your work, and it's almost impossible to avoid this. In my opinion, you only have 3 options. Don't post on social media. If you do post, don't look at any statistics. No likes, no comments, nothing. Make your audience a consequence of your work. This is about creating from the heart, and trust that by staying true to your creative soul, you will naturally attract an audience that appreciates you. It's a path that fosters long-term artistic fulfillment and a genuine connection with those who resonate with your work. I try to ask myself, why am I making this? Why am I making this video? Is it because I want to express my thoughts to the world, or is it because I think you will like it? What is driving me? My need for self-expression or my desire for validation? I have to say, I'm not perfect. Far from it. While making the thumbnail, I was mostly thinking about what works well, what makes people click. I'll be honest, I had some fun with it, but in the process, I left out a significant part of my creative spirit. Just like Mr. Beast, I know that without a compelling thumbnail, I will get no audience. And without an audience, I can't discuss my thoughts. Why am I making this thumbnail? Well, I want a reaction from you. Why am I making this video? Because I want to share my thoughts to as many people as possible, so I made a compromise. Support me on Patreon so I don't have to make creative compromises. Thank you.